Well, there you are. Again. Charlie Greer podcast. I do this every day. Today, man, I'm looking haggard today. Branding my style. Yes, well, see. Um, like what I did, my intro, which is, I know how cheesy it is, how silly, hacky, all that. Well, there you are. I get it. I'm branding. Okay. As silly as that sounds. And I say the same thing when I open the show, and I say the same thing when I close it. I try not to mention my name because my name's in the thing. I don't say, "Hey, it's me." Anybody can do that. But it's working, and I'll explain why I did it so cheap. It was deliberate that I did it kind of. Oh, I need something that like it's repetition. I use repetition. I've learned in life with my bands and all this other stuff. You got to do the same things over and over and over and over, and people will start accepting it. Um, it's not like I'm turning myself into McDonald's, but am I? I mean, it's so with my intro, I was like, what can I say? For one, it's like a twofold. I need to do something because people tend to steal your style and your cadence and this, that, and the other thing, which is fine. I don't even care as long as they give me respect and credit. I don't care. Uh, but it happens. That's just human nature, man. We all do that. We all are influenced by people. This, that. And I'm not saying I'm an influence. I'm just saying that they they will, which is fine because then you can use it and mix it, make it your own. So I was like, what can I do that I'll know for without a doubt that somebody's nicking off of me? Somebody's, coattail riding. This intro is so well. There you are. Who's gonna? Huh? And today, that's the one thing because nobody you'll know who they got it from. It's unique. And everything's been done. I mean, to make something unique, you pretty much got to do something that's never. It got to be stupid, basically, because nobody would want to do it. And the two, it's branding. It's something that you do repeat. You repeat. You repeat. You do it again, again, again. Repetition, repetition. People will get it. People start accepting it. Um, and it's like the old saying. First they make fun of you, then they want to be like you. Then they no, first they make fun of you, then they accept you, then they want to be like you. I do the same thing with my outro. I say the same thing every time I log off. Stop my podcast. I love you. Be blessed. Cheers. It's deliberate, and it took me forever to figure out. It sounds simple. See, I did a podcast the other day. Like the hard part's making it look easy. I was wrecking my brain, and I recommend you all do something like that. You know, you get branding again, an image too, music, like the Tonight Show. Da, 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 Johnny Carson. Here's Johnny. They would do the same thing over and over and over. That's what people, it becomes like this. It's like making neural pathways in your brain. You just accept it. It's got to be good. Um, but I mean, again, it's your style. It's what you want to do. I know it is cheesy. It is hacky. Um, it's what I like. It's my style, and I do it every time. Because I'm branding. It's branding. I want people to be like, "Hey, that's who? Huh? Him?" And then, of course, you want to talk to yourself in the third person about yourself, anyway, in the third person. Like Charlie Greer is great. That works. You don't want to be doing that out in real life. They'll think you're crazy. Like, what the fuck, this guy? Some people do. But yeah, and to prove my point, people are doing it back to me in my comments. I've went into chats and chatted people. Here comes multiple people doing that saying, "Well, there you are." That's why I'm doing it, and I think it's great. And again, you can use whatever. Just give me some credit. Give me the respect that it's like, hey, don't be stealing my goofiness in my cadence without, giving proper respect. I think that everybody who's doing anything, especially if you got a podcast, you got to do certain things. Of course, here I am telling you this, and I don't. I have the most unpopular podcast in the history of podcast. Nobody's watching this, and I'm being doxxed. They're shaving. The other day, I lost 10 subscribers like in an hour. Now I get it. People can like unsubscribe and stuff, but what's the odds of an even number 10 in an hour? And I didn't know who they were, and then people are coming back and resubscribe. It's happening to people with even popular podcasts. And my views, they shaved my views. I'll see how many views I got, and then it's like, how do you lose views? And then if I go into my analytics, whatever they call that, like one time I went in there, I could see how many real views I was getting. I was like, what am I getting at? And you go to my, how many, it didn't show it. Are you shitting me? Oh, well, what are you going to do? People in real life are starting to say that to me. Well, there you are. It kind of catches me off guard sometimes. I think that's awesome. And that's the reason why I'm doing it, to brand my style. So when you hear that, that's Charlie Greer. Again, I'm talking to myself in third person. And I do this because of therapeutic reasons. It's like therapy to me to do my podcast. I was going to do another different kind of podcast. No, just sit in front of a laptop and rant. That well runneth over. Of course, I'm going to be doing I want to get out and about. And we have the cooking show, and we have whatever. But branding, that's important. I know it sounds corporate, and it's just like, you don't want to hire a think tank or anything. Well, let's see. Tell us about yourself and what you like. And again, the most important thing is to be unique, something that sticks out. Doesn't have to be that smart. It's something stupid, but everybody will remember. Keep it simple. Hopefully under 10 words. It's like a mantra. They use mantras. That's what it is. That's what I'm using, like ancient knowledge. It is. It's ancient. They've known about this. You kind of want to make yourself a McDonald's. People are like, are you kidding me? McDonald's? Comment below. What do you think? I've done it when I was in my band Love Engineer, and I joined Love Engineer when I was like 20. I realized that I'd see these bands like, well, when Angus Young, he always wears that schoolboy outfit, and this, that, and Jimmy Page has that dragon suit, and what can I do to? But then again, I didn't like too much. I didn't want to be, So I was like, well, I'll wear a black T-shirt, black or blue, and like in pants, like blue jeans, every gig. The same, not the same one, but I had like 10 pairs of, that works. You come to a gig, that's what I'm wearing. There's pictures of me in that blue jeans, blue shirt, or a black shirt, over and over, because it was branding. How I use I'll mix it up. Lately in the last couple of weeks, I've used different images for my the image for my podcast, but it's that same picture of me playing. That picture, the black and red one I usually use, is from a gig like in a while back, back in the day, kind of 2009, maybe 2010, of me. I think that was at the Universal Bar and Grill in University City in LA. And then I had a friend kind of do his like, Photoshop magic. Pardon me. Do it over and over and over and over and use it and use it and use it. And yeah, I could have my name, I didn't want any of that, man. I didn't want that, it goes back like the Kiss, the band Kiss that wears the makeup, you got to pull back. The more people are interested, pull back a bit. Don't be too, again, if you can, like, here's my name, I'm going to, no. Of course, I use my name every time in Charlie Greer podcast, but I want that image. See, that's unique. That's of me. If I put my name on it, it's like I'm telling someone what to do. Like, watch, no. You have that image, you're like, oh, and then you get used to that image. You're like, that's it, that's it. You can click on. These things take time. Again, my podcast isn't doing that. I don't have any subscribers. I don't get any views. I'm old. I'm ugly. I have no talent. I got a bad attitude. I smoke. I curse. I get it. You know, it's gonna be tough for me, but it makes me unique. Do you see anybody else? Maybe they don't want to. Perhaps. See, I do that again. These simple words and how you say them, the cadence. It's deliberate. If you saw me out in the street, whatever, I'm not doing. You know what I mean? This isn't fake, and I'm not acting, but I'm in front of a camera. If I acted like this out in the real world, huh? And sometimes I do. I mean, you know. But this is. I'm not like everybody plays a role in different. You're in every situation in your life. You act different around your parents than you do with your friends, and that isn't fake. That's how life is. Some people are fake, you know. You can use your cadence to convey better. You can just say convey or convey. You know, it's what I do. Because quite honestly, I don't have the time and the energy to. And I know Photoshop. I probably forgot a lot what I've known. I used to make my own flyer. I mean, I know how to do all this. But simple fly, make it simple and repeat it over and over and over. And because I'm coming up on like my 200th episode. I think it's going to be next week. And I'll have like hopefully, you know, of course I'm on YouTube. Like my last one I celebrated because I did one for the 100th, one for the 150, and I'll do one for 200. I'm going to do it every, you know, but I usually make them longer. But I'm working now more hours. So I might not be able to, but maybe because I like to do this in the morning. I like to get up. Like I just got out of the shower. I like to get up, do my thing, walk my dog, slap some soup down my throat and shower and get in front of the camera or the laptop that has a camera on. And the other day I got up and the city was working on the electricity. They didn't tell anybody, like they were repairing wires or whatever. And I got up ready to do my podcast, got up early, and I can't do it. And it's just like, dear Lord. So I had to do it later on in the day, which I don't like doing it for some reason. I thought that, you know, I guess I'm a morning person. I don't know. Or I like to do it whenever I get up. I'm not saying it's the morning. I mean, but usually it is. And actually, it's a form like of when you break it down, it's like a form of hypnosis. Like you do stuff repetitively, you say certain things, keep it simple. You don't want to, you know, if again, it's good for people, but for me, I don't want to use this different image every podcast. If you look at the list of my videos, it's uniform, and I know it probably ain't for everybody, but that's what I like to do. It's like McDonald's, that same, you know, they'll augment the, you know, the arches a little bit, but the same stuff. Make it simple. Have an intro. Make it cheesy. Take a page out of my book. And speaking of books, I have a book out. Charlie Greer, Rant of the Madman. It's been out since 2003. And certain things I've been ranting about, people thought I was crazy, now are accepted. That they talk about on the mainstream media. And of course, they're not paying me for my book. They've never paid me. Next year will be like 20 years since my book's been out. I'm owed. But then that's the thing. With my music too, I've had in my publishing, my BMI, I'm owed money by VH1. Viacom, Discovery Channel. They used my music and what sometimes I don't even know what it was, and I've never been because the law of the land in that world, the entertainment world, we'll just get a lawyer and come after us and we'll pay. Then you go talk to lawyers, and it's just like, well, we need a retainer, $5,000 retainer, or we need a $10,000 retainer, and that's just the retainer to retain them to go looking for your. They might not find it. So at the end of the day, only the lawyers make money. So I was like, oh man, that's why I didn't release a second book. I had a second book. It was called Struggle, Struggle, Repeat. Like, man, I'm not giving this up to anybody. I'm gonna keep this to myself because I don't want to give it away for free. Granted, I mean, yeah, some things are, but I worked hard. And I deserve to get paid. And then my name, Charlie Greer, that's people don't, certain people call me Charlie that I know personally. Certain people that know that call me Greer. And then some people call me like Charlie Greer. Like it's a, and that's been going on forever. I'm talking about since the 90s. That was deliberate too. And what you do, how you do that, you speak about yourself in the third party. You says like, well, I'm going to go to the store. Charlie Greer's going to go to the store. It's stupid. It works. Sometimes fast. Sometimes it's not so, but that's for me, my style, branding your style. You see podcast wearing their hat, they got merch with their, and they have, in YouTube land, a lot of people that are successful, they use like fake names. Like I'm so-and-so. I'm already known as Charlie Greer. So if I did that, if I start my podcast and, hey, I'm Fantastic Forever or whatever it is, some kind of YouTube name, then it would look fake. Like, man, that's Charlie Greer. It would be stupid. Unfortunately, I can't do that. And I'm not making fun of anybody that does that. I think it's cool, But for me, I can't do that. I gotta work with what I have. What's that? Charlie Greer. And and today, like stupid things. I know how cheesy they are, but it works. Keep it simple. Yeah, we want to look like sophisticated, inspired, cosmopolitan. No, not in certain things you don't. So how are you branding yourself? Comment below. Think about it. Like, what if he might be right? Hit that son of a. I'm telling you, it'll help you out, especially if you're more popular. Because again, I'm a gray-haired old man. I'm not going to get this younger crowd. I know that. But I think it would take people to the next tier of the YouTube pyramid, especially if you're monetized. Oh, I would be if you're monetized. If you're monetized, you need to be thinking about these things. You need to start branding, whatever that might be. Intro music. It could be a logo. It could be your cadence. It could be your intro. Again, here's Johnny. Whatever. Look at commercials. That's all they do. That's smart. They know. And people accept things. It might take them a while, Then it's like, oh, that's It totally works. Man, I wish I had a fake name I could go by. I wish I could be like Super Deluxe or whatever it is. But that's not for me. Again, I wish I could. I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm jealous. Unfortunately, I've branded Charlie Greer. That's who I am. I'll be out and about. Now, again, people call me Charlie Greer. And they have for like 30 years. It's working. But then again, I'm a lowbrow kind of underground artist guy. My albums are out of print. And you can still get my book and go to Charlie Greer, Rand of the Madman, go to Amazon.com or wherever. I'd recommend, I hate to say that, I'd recommend to read it for free. Some places will let you read it for free because they're not paying me. And I shouldn't say that, but man, they're getting money. I'm not. It's corporate. And why should I, I own the movie rights. So eventually one day I could be able to option those. I've gotten close. Branding your style. How are you going to do it? Like I try to wear like the same black t-shirt, whatever. And then I get lazy and I'll throw on a gray one or a yellow one or whatever. You want to mix it up. Um, but how do you think, comment below, how do you think you could do on your branding? Have you even thought of that? Some people are just, that's all they do. There's some people that they do it naturally. They don't have to, I literally, that intro, well, there you are. You know how long it took me to think of that? I know how stupid that is. And today, that took me, I was contemplating forever about that. Like, man, should I do this? Because it's cheesy. Can you imagine if I went up to somebody and, well, there you are. I'd get slapped. I don't do that in real life. Yeah, I guess it's kind of fake. I'm using it for my podcast. People, their parents are doing it. Well, there you are, Charlie Greer. It's already happening around me. I was laughing when it started. Or coming to me today. That's what I meant to do. That's why I did it. It works. Yes, it's cheesy. Yes, it's hacky. Think about it. You don't want to be changing it. Why do you think the Coke logo has always been? When they made new Pepsi in the 90s, whatever, man, it was 100. They know. They made a mistake. Oh my God, Pepsi Clear. No, they almost ruined the whole brand. You got to stick with certain things and follow through with it. It's got to be your, think about it. I'm making this one short today. I got to go to work. Yeah. So please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, the information's in the description for Zelle. I do this every day, unfortunately, for me and you, I guess. We rant tomorrow. But I love y'all. Be blessed. Cheers.